Cancer. I was going to go in a different direction and do a different sign. I actually started Capricorn yesterday. But it's time for you guys to get your reading. These retrograde planets really have, especially Jupiter, and Mercury too. They have me diving deep, like infinite waters deep, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, these are not, it's not a bad thing, but the practical application of it, when you don't, when you haven't yet gotten to the place where you can, how do I say, vacation, like your life is not a vacation just yet. You're still in the stage of, oh, it was trying to get me. Whatever the fuck it was. Squeeto. It's tough to be in between two worlds. Like, I know you're governed by the moon. So even looking at the High Priestess card, and she has the crescent moon at her feet. And oscillating between the here and there, and having to remember where you are and to be present, but at the same time, not close off your access to the rest of yourself. I didn't know Cancer was gonna take it here. Let's see. I feel that in the shell, it's like, consider Cancer the crab, but in the shell there's a trap door, and like a trap door to a stage or something, and you can exit your shell without being seen. This is what I'm getting. It's like people may think you're almost like a hermit crab, and there's certain parts of your nature that, you know, remain sweet, remain humble, remain closed off, or inaccessible to certain people. But the thing is, you do exercise it. You do remove yourself from that shell through the trap door. It's just that they're not in proximity to witness it. That's what I'm feeling. And it has a lot to do with the High Priestess energy. Because where you go, they can't go with you. Let me start. We have music at the bottom. We have change, number 5. These are similar with the vibration, actually. Timeout in reverse, that's a 37. And we have communication, a 33. So that's kind of what I was getting. With the timeout in reverse, people may think that you're taking a break or backing off, or in a state of guardedness, when it's like I'm not guarded. You don't have the password. You can't enter. You don't have the keys. You can't get in. It's but not like a barrier, not like a guardedness and trying to protect. That's not what it is. It's very fucking simple. Um, like if it's pure, it's gonna come through. The person would be able to enter, or the people would be able to enter, but their intentions get met with the shell, and it seems like you're inaccessible. That's not. They think it's your doing. It's just your mechanism of safety that's surrounding you. So communication is 33, music is 32, and I feel that you'll for the first time you'll be hearing differently. Like the messages in music will resonate differently, but they'll trigger memories, they'll trigger memories that you may not even recognize. So you're picking up, that is a huge pimple I see. Anyway, you'll be hearing memories. Like you'll hear something and it'll spark a memory. And this is that oscillating between here and there that I'm speaking of, because it'll take you almost like astrally take you from the position or the point you're at and move you into like a moving memory through music. Is I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're writing a vibration. You're traveling into and through a vibration. All these damn cards want to fall. We do have the Hermit underneath communication. And this is why people feel like you're something may be going on with you, or something's wrong, or you feel away, and it's not that at all. Like they really don't, they can't comprehend where you're at. They can't, it's not something that they could put in the GPS and actually find you. It's a resonance. So when you're in this bout of, they want to fall all over the place. These are other people's fears and worries. And it's a lot of projections being made on you right now. It's like where before you were affected by how others felt. This Four Swords is in reverse. In the upright, I really feel like it has a lot to do with, I'm going to keep that out. In the upright, it has a lot to do with astral traveling, closed eye or open-eyed meditation, like meditative work while you're like zoned out. It could be to music, this communication. Like you could be completely seeing, clearly seeing, voyantly seeing a memory while you're actually doing something else. You could be driving and be in this focused meditation, and it's weird because it's not safe to do that. You know, being in a meditative state while you're driving can be very can be dangerous. But I feel that your consciousness is on autopilot, and then your subconscious is running concurrently. So you're able to be in that. It's almost like a daydream, but it's not. It's you're in two times at once. You're on two planes at once, two realms at once. Golly, Cancer, I like this. I like this a lot. I like to tap into this type of energy. This is the part of celestial securities that I really want to amplify, that I intend to amplify, because this is the type of stuff that doesn't get touched on as much. They want to talk about, he, her, man, high, sharing karmic. Like your ultimate focus is the star that you are innately. Like you're comprised of shit that is star studded. Like you and everyone else, we have this biological makeup that has components and alchemical characteristics that are reminiscent of astral bodies, celestial bodies, and therefore that's worth protecting. Like, thing is, we're all stars that expire, but while you're here, why not shine? Even if it isn't verbal communication, you're being communicated to. The timeout card, I'm glad that it's in reverse, because so is this Four of Swords. And the good thing about that is other people's communication towards you mentally, astrally, telepathically, you absorb, you pick it up, and it goes in your shell with you. For a long time it has. And it invades your space. No matter if you're alone, if the thoughts come through and you pick them up just energetically and you feel them, they attach to you. And it would leave you drained, and it would leave you exhausted when a timeout would be necessary. That 37, it's a 10. So the karmic completions card is not here, which is a 10, but that's what I'm feeling. It's giving me the same vibe. Like you're no longer in the gray area. You're actually here in the mind, in the solar plexus, and you're here in the higher mind, right above the crown. You have a soul source chakra up here. So if you cascade your hand around it, you should be able to feel sensations in your scalp, because there is an energetic tether here that keeps you connected. So when you're so much down here and you can't transcend that energy upward, this chakra up here can be blocked. Your crown can be blocked. And therefore that tether, that connectivity that you have to the other realms, the other planes that your energy is actually familiar with, it's been difficult to navigate because of the timeouts, because of the siphoning, because of the transference. So you're finally learning that even when you're seemingly just doing something mundane, that you can dip off into these other realms, that you can be there, and people don't know how to get there to you. They don't know how to enter. Their energy, their projections are no longer following you into the shell. It can no longer penetrate, right? Because even if it got into the shell, you're not in the shell. You've gone through the back door. So when you come back into your shell and you're back present in your body and in your consciousness, you do a clearing, you do a sweep, and then continue. So yeah, this meditative state is while you're awake. You're not even resting. They expect that you'll take a break, because you could be keeping yourself very busy and going through a lot of these changes. You know what I'm saying? You're moving to another rhythm. We have change in music. Your rhythm could be changing. So what they assume that they could, catch you at the break, or catch you at the chorus, or catch you at the breakdown, or know your every ad lib, you switched up your tune. 3 of Cups. This could pertain to friend energy too. I do feel that it was there are friends around you that you have had slight inkling, even though they are seemingly very great friends to you, or have been in your corner in certain times, there's something underlying, because it would be somebody you would bring into your shell and even want to share your trapdoor location with, or how to get into it, or how to access it. And the thing is, that is a plant. That person is planted there to test your heart space, to test your ability to discern, because they'll pass all of the outward appearances, all of your natural, like, checklists that you would have to determine if a person's trustworthy. They'll pass those tests. It's like a person who's trained to pass a lie detector, right? You don't have any bodily clues, any body language giveaways. Their poker face is very, very good. But I'm telling you, this friend that is the closest to you is the one that is going to be used as a chaos agent to infiltrate where you're going and what you're doing. They're almost planted there in this energy. You're building up the discernment, but it's, you have to utilize that moon energy to, suss it out. Like, you really have to, because this person is so close to your core that they could demolish you from the inside out. And it's purposely set that way. This is how the spiritual war works. Damn, Cancer. I'm keeping these. Under the deck is the Seven of Cups. When I say they can't see, they can't get through that. They can't catch your rhythm. They don't know the music you're listening to. And I'm not even talking about physical music. Like, you're hearing a different tune, so you're following a different vibration, you're following a different rhythm. It's like the opposite of a siren call. Okay, sirens they would take sailors under. They would enchant them with their song, and they would take advantage. This person is operating in siren mode, but that's not the rhythm that you're on, and not the one you're listening to. So they can't penetrate that. They can't penetrate you. You're nowhere to be found at times. Like, communication may stop, stall, or even in the midst of a conversation, you're not there. This retrograde energy is really allowing you to better use the psychic ability that you actually have, without feeling like it's psychic. Like, this is normal shit. So to even having a conversation about this, even with a Cancer person, if they're not cognizant of their own abilities, or understand that there's something significant about their own spirit in this way, it would fall on lost ears. Like, they wouldn't understand, because this level of transcendence is not, there's so many distractions, that this level of transcendence, it's like a small window, almost like what is it, like one of those pinball machines. Like, you have like those really high scores, and it's a very precise way to hit, to hit this ball in order to get it in this hole and be successful at this particular thing. And I'm not saying that a lot of people are excluded, but I feel that they're off the mark, if that makes sense. Okay, so the cards that fell out, we have, what I saw first was the Ten of Pentacles, the Sun, the Empress, and Page of Swords, right? So while you're doing this, you're expanding your ability. Even in the moon card, there is something coming out of the water behind the two canines. One is domesticated and one is wild, but there is a crustacean. There is something with a shell coming out of the water behind them. We're seeing it in the view of being behind even that crustacean and seeing a broader scope of expanse of land, of pathway. Even though you can't see clearly, it's seemingly dark. And those two natures are sitting there. One is kind of docile and the other is quite wild, quite feral, like a cat, even though they're canines. But you have the Hermit coming up for you, which is good that you have this companion energy because you know how to navigate it. That crustacean is that shell, right? But even still, when you remove yourself from the shell through the trap door, you're seeing everything that's outside of that shell. Your place of the shell itself, and you're seeing everything else. So you're seeing in an extended view, Sun card, like the Teletubby baby in the sun. It was looking down and seeing everybody. We just look at it and think it's a sun. We just look at the moon and think it's a moon. But it's almost like you're retracting through that trap door and you're sitting on the moon watching people attempt to do certain things, or you can watch circumstances and you can watch things play out wherever you are. You kind of just sitting there and you can only see, we only see this in the picture, but the thing is, you have the view of the whole valley. So what was covered up by night, by dark, by the light of the moon, you saw in its expanse, in its plentiness, in its growth, in its the pitfalls. You can see these things. But the one thing that you don't see there is this person. They're not intended to go there with you. They cannot get there without you, but they're not welcome there either. Otherwise, they would have been shown their own way, and they would have vibrated with you on a certain frequency, a certain vibration, a certain tune that would grant them access. But they can't go. It's not for them to be there. So they're kind of like, they know that you're coming into something. They know that you're on the brink of like releasing something to yourself. It's like with that high priestess energy, your unconscious has kept certain things safe from you, so you wouldn't hurt yourself, or it wouldn't hurt the mind or hurt your heart, but also so it wouldn't hurt your spirit or hurt your chances to develop your spirit. So there's certain things that are locked up and safe, put up for safekeeping. That is this is your safe. This is your haven. This is your access. This is your spirit. These are your abilities. This is your abundance that comes with having those abilities and using them for the greater good of all. We have 3 generations in this card. So it shows me, along with this Empress card, that there's something that you're going to access and that you have the ability to do that will feed your line, your lineage after you're gone. But you're developing it now, and this person wants to, I always see this F, it's like the Facebook F, where a lot of lurking goes on. And yeah, this is a lurking card, but this person wants to learn from you. They want to be like an apprentice. But the thing is, they don't know how you do it. They don't see you sitting stagnant. They see you in motion. You're not in a respite. You're not taking a break. And they don't understand if you're not breaking, taking a break, or being broken. what are you doing? Because you're glowing like a motherfucker. Man, woman, doesn't matter. If you have this Cancer energy and you're utilizing it in this way, you're glowing like a motherfucker. Like, this is almost like, oh, I was talking about the Teletubby. There's the face in the sun. But understand that I'm speaking on the face in the moon too, right? So even by day, you're seeing like two layers of things. You're seeing what is there and what's underneath. What would be there under the guise of the moon? It's like you can see two, like, it's two timelines at the same time. It's like 2:00 p.m. and 2:00 a.m. at the same time. So you can see everything the sun touches, but you can also see everything the moon touches too. So it's like when the filter of night comes on, when the filter of the moon comes on, certain things emerge, certain things come out, especially a person's nature when they feel like they're not being watched. Like you don't know what's going on. Like you cannot see them. Things that they want to hide and hold close to their vest. The way that they actually don't like you, the way that you think, or they're not fond of you in the way that you actually think, but they've been so welcome even in your home. That's going to be taken care of. They've been in your home, your heart. We had 3 4s back to back to back. These are the 4s that are missing from view. You have the right 4 with you. If it was like this, you still wouldn't be able to see because your eyes are closed. You'd be in a state of recovery, and you would still be in a position to have them around as a necessity, because there's something about them that has always been there, that has always comforted you or something. And it's like having a shoulder to cry on, and the person's like, yeah, and then their face just stone cold. Like it's fake kicking it. Fake kicking it. This person can call you best friend. This person can call you sister. This person can call you brother. This person can, associate you with as a part of their family. 4 of Wands. So that shell in a physical form would be your home, right? But even in your home, you know how to retract, and to use this 4 of Swords energy, but in a way that doesn't look like you're not MIA, but you're not there. For those who aren't following me, who aren't picking up on what's happening, on what I'm touching base on, just know that, let's say on a mundane level, behind the scenes, you're spiritually expanding, and you're about to outgrow somebody that's very close to you, who has always presented themselves as an ally, as a best something, or a respected someone, that you would give your shirt off, the shirt off your back, a key to your home, would trust with your money. Like, this person has they check all the boxes. Everything about them checks out. But under the surface, in the realm of the night, in the realm of the hidden and the unconscious, they're not shit, especially not to you. That's like espionage, like quite literally. A person to infiltrate is a person that they can trust and everything checks out about them. But when it comes down to it, they drop the hammer. They're responsible for the downfall, for the accusation, for the proof or ammunition that brings on a real timeout. And it's not that you're doing something wrong and that you could be caught doing wrong. It's just that what you're about to access, like spiritually, this person is not on the same side as you. They may talk spiritual, they may talk about vibes, they may be even practicing their own sense of spirituality, but they don't know. I don't think they're consciously aware that they're being used as a chaos agent to tear you down from the inside out. They could be related to love interests that you've had, or be a close proxy of people that you have been involved with, or they have access to them, or know information about these people that you just X's and all. Like they could know shit or keep communications with people that you no longer associate with or no longer hold close, and they do so for very good reason. They have intel that the moment they feel you retracting or pulling away or something like that, they could bring up information as if it's brand new, and it's like it's intriguing to you because you don't know it. But if you were supposed to have known it, you would have seen it, or it would have been put directly on your path, not to be delivered by a person so close to you. Like, how do you know this information? And why are you bringing it to me? You know, I'm interested, or I may not tell you I don't want to hear information that's coming through because it's coming from my best friend, or it's coming from my sister, it's coming from my play cousin, or somebody I've been friends with for decades. It's smoke and mirrors, because these matters are close to the heart. So if they bring up information, in the moment you hear it, it pierces the heart. There's an opening, there's a breaking open, and they'll attempt to see you in that vulnerable state. And even those vulnerable states trigger your unconscious to start opening, and you'll start to see or start to remember, or there's information in your memories, there's information in your unconscious that these triggers can open up that trap door to. So it's very, very imperative that you're careful with what you're receiving from people, allowing yourself to receive from people. Now you have to sift and sort through what you're accepting from them. They're like, girl, or man, guess what? Like, what is it about? Or who is it about? Like, I'm not even interested. And keep it pushing. Because if you're, like I said, if you're intended to have particular information, you have complete access to get it. You have complete clearance. If it's meant for you to have, it'll be communicated to you directly. You won't need that middleman ever. You don't need it. You have the connection. So before they get their shit on Netflix, you had front row seat. You know what I mean? So they're bringing you bootlegs, and you have access to the premiere. You can go see it before anybody sees it. Cancer. I was wondering. I was like, Cancer. Like y'all were really calling out to me, or the energy was calling out to me. I thought this was going to be reversed, the way that it fell out, and it still ended up upright. Okay. I see though. Mm-hmm. Yep. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. In a vulnerable state. While you're in this state, consider what I was saying about meditative resting, or or active, like doing something and you're on autopilot. But if you're in a state of sleep and another person can say they dream walk, say they can meet you in your dreams, and you're like, you wake up and you're like, oh, I had a dream about you. Like that's implantation. That's a person attempting to get unconscious information through the dream realm. When I told you you didn't need them, this is what I'm talking about. You have, and I shit you not, y'all were calling out to me through this reading. I'm Virgo, right? And the Hermit and the Magician has shown up. So maybe that's what you needed to know from a Virgo, letting you know that you have this energy backing you. You have this retrograde energy even of Mercury assisting you with this. You have access that consciously you may deter or you may not be aware of. But with this retrograde energy, the mind is like rebooting. So now you're having access to shit that you may not have been consciously aware of that you were actually doing before. Some people think it's maladaptive daydreaming. And really, they're just toggling between conscious and unconscious, that median. Okay? The median is what connects. Don't forget it. Don't fucking forget it. When I get back into these chakras the way that I need to, and I really start to break this stuff down so you can understand how to utilize this for your highest good and the highest good of everyone around you in the most beneficial ways, it'll protect you, but it also will put you in a position to teach others how to protect themselves. Okay? So now we have temperance. Like it's an unshakable piece. And while you're doing this, you're mixing those realms together, and it's giving you a complete picture. The eye takes things in and it flips it, and it'll be flipped and upside down. You can actually see both versions. Even if it seems inverted, you can see the mirror image. You're getting it. Oh my gosh, you're getting it. Okay, so this Four of Swords I thought was reversed. It came after this Five of Wands. The way it fell on the table, I just knew, because before I shuffled, I straightened all these cards. You saw me do this. It came out reversed, and then it still ended up upright. So look at that. Like telling this person to be quiet, or like keep. It's like it's covering the mouth. It's like trying to stifle the voice, or trying to get away with trying to get away with information in a way that they're not implicated. But that's them here with that sword. It's a Five of Wands, but there's a sword here, and they're just watching. They're just freaking watching. Told you that they are a chaos agent. So in your most vulnerable state, and this doesn't have to do particularly with you being in the throes of desire with another person and being caught. It could be, quite literally, it could be. You are being surveyed. You are being watched. But not in the way that is entirely physical. They're gauging you. They're sizing you up. And they're using your own vulnerabilities to get ready to strike. And this is what they want to happen. They want you to be in a state of sorrow. I'm not leaving this reading like this. What is this Queen of Swords? Okay. The one getting exposed. They're attempting to expose you. Your innermost. This is why you have a shell. This is why you have always been represented as a person with a shell because you have so much to protect. Show me this tower. If they come bearing gifts while you're traversing those realms, they're going to implement the tower. It's going to, they're trying to put a cog in your wheel. They're trying to put a cog in your mechanism that gets you there. This could quite literally be something with your vehicle, but Wheel of Fortune. When I was looking at this Four of Swords here, one more for the Four of Swords, Queen of Wands. So their intentions are not, it could be a Sagittarius or a person with Sagittarius energy. They want you moving to a state of displeasure. They want you moving towards a state of imbalance. They want you moving, because when you're not feeling safe, when you're not feeling protected, when you're not feeling yourself, you're in the shell. In the shell, you don't shine. When you hit the back door and you go through the trap door and you're in these other realms of understanding, of comprehension, of the unconscious, when you can see two things happening at once, concurrently, it puts you in a state of highness, your highness. One for the Seven of Pentacles. And I just saw the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom. Page of Cups. Offering affections, offering friendship, offering that commonality that you always had with this person. It's not what you think it is. And I typically don't tell people, oh, what you don't see coming. But guess what? You don't see coming. It's like, if they can get in and they see the trap door, they could tamper with it. Again, put that cog in the wheel that allows you to move and maneuver those realms. They're not even consciously aware they're being used by an entity, a possession, just a need to undermine what you're doing. They don't know they're being used, but now you know they're being used. This Two of Swords. If this is you on a conscious level, they want you in a state of confusion, not being able to see clearly. The moon is not full here, so you're really not feeling the full girth of what's happening around you. Your senses would be dulled. Your ability to discern would be diminished. This is your trap door. They want to fucking booby trap and bomb so that you can't go through it to get to your glow, your highness. Cancer is the fourth house of the mother, the home, the nurturer. If you destroy the mother, the home, the nurturer, what do you have left? There is agenda. You can see it publicly, but on a spiritual level, everything that is woman is being exaggerated, exploited, diminished, has become mockery, a joke, um, and even the feminine aspects of us are, even through others' guidance, is um, because everybody's journey is different. We have to express it the way that we're designed to. Each of us, these eaches are bunching together and they're targeting. Certain people are caught in the vibe of being taught how to be women, taught how to use their feminine energy, even as men. Um, Certain ways of conducting yourself, opening yourself up. Um, Again, celestial securities. There's a safe way to do everything. There's precautionary ways to do everything. So even in a moment of vulnerability, even in a moment of vulnerability, even in a fucking moment of vulnerability that everybody is now being geared up to do or being prepared to do, that's because there's a catch. There's a fucking catch. This Page of Pentacles is not offering what you think it's offering. It looks familiar. It looks, it doesn't look significant because, you know, it doesn't rattle your cage. It doesn't come grandiose. It's something very subtle, something fucking very subtle that can, like I said, a cog in the wheel. A pebble could throw off the trajectory of this chariot. I'm going to leave your reading there. I really need your feedback. If you follow me, if you're following me, I need you to let me know if you understand what I'm talking about. And if you take a look and identify, if you can identify who this is, you'll save yourself the trouble. 9 of Cups on top. And that's that on that. That is all I have to say. This here is my swag, okay? Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.